Let's look at Article 5, Paragraph 2 of the India-USA Treaty. And what this provides is certain specific inclusions in the definition of PE. Now, even before I discuss this, there is one thing which I want to tell you, which is while these inclusions will be considered in the definition of the PE, right, they have to possess the characteristics of Article 5, Paragraph 1, which means they have to go through the test of 5.1. If they do not satisfy the conditions there, then even though these might be there, they will still not be construed as a PE. The term permanent establishment includes especially. Since this is an inclusive definition, what this means is these are just examples. Anything else which satisfies the definition of paragraph 1 can also be considered as a PE. A place of management. Now, when you say a place of management, we're talking about the place of management of the foreign enterprise, right? So if there is a foreign company and it has a subsidiary in India, right? If the subsidiary is managing in its own business out of its Indian office, then it cannot be said that the place of management is of the foreign company. What we are looking at is the place of management of the foreign company. And what does normally a place of management includes? A place of management includes a place where the board of directors of the company guide what the operation should look like, right? If there are just some liaison office, just marketing office, etc., or some information provider, that may not constitute a place of management. A place of management necessarily has to be a place where the key decision relating to the management of the company are to be taken. A branch. Now, when we talk about a branch, again, we are talking about the branch. We are talking about the branch of the foreign company, right? Suppose this FCO has an affiliate, right? Now, this affiliate has a branch in India, which also helps the FCO in some work. This branch of the affiliate will not amount to a PE of the foreign company because the branch has to be of the foreign company. If they have a branch, normally it is construed as a PE. An office. What kind of office? From where the business of the enterprise should be carried on. Just because you have a liaison office which is not carrying on any activity, it may not necessarily amount to a PE, right? A factory. Now, many times you will see that a foreign company may have a factory in India, right? In such a case, this factory will be considered as a PE of the foreign company. However, if this foreign company engages a third party contract manufacturer, who, by the way, owns a factory, right? And he manufactures products for the foreign company and sells them on a principal to principal basis. This factory will not be treated as a PE of the foreign company unless the conditions relating to satisfaction of the PE are otherwise satisfied. Because this factory is not of the foreign company, this one is. This one is not, right? A workshop. Of course, we all know what a workshop is. A mine, an oil or gas well. Like I said, a mine, even though it is spread over a large area, on a standalone complete basis, it constitutes a PE. An oil or gas well, a quarry for extraction of maybe marbles or something like that, or any other place of extraction of natural resources. Extraction basically means something which is already there as a part of maybe earth and it is taken out from there, or some resources taken out from some physical structure which is already existing. When we talk about natural resources, it does not create things which have been created by man, right? Something which nature gives it on its own. There was a debate in terms of whether a fish would amount to natural resource or not. It has been held against the company, which said that it will amount to natural resources. A warehouse, but every warehouse does not constitute a PE. So let's take an example. There are two foreign companies. Okay, one owns a warehouse which it uses to store goods, store own goods, and then deliver it to its customers. The second foreign company owns a warehouse which it provides to third party, maybe even this FCO as well, on rental basis, because they are into the business of providing storage facilities. In such a case, the warehouse in relation to the person providing storage facilities for others is considered as a PE, because here the act of storing is a business activity, right? When you are storing your own products over here, it may still amount to PE under a different clause, but not for the purpose of this particular clause. A farm, plantation, or other place where agriculture, forestry, plantation, or related activities are carried on. A store or a premise used as a sales outlet. So if a foreign company has a store in India, right, from where they are selling goods to customers, this store will amount to a PE. But if this store is not used as a sales outlet but only for display purposes, then in that case it will not amount to a PE. Article 52J. Now I've tried to put this separately because this is something which has a lot of significance. Structure for exploitation of natural resources. An installation or structure used for exploration or exploitation of natural resources, but only if so used for a period of more than 120 days in any 12-month period. I'll come to what an installation or structure would be here, but the purpose of such an installation or structure should be that you want to explore or exploit natural resources, but the structure should be used for more than 120 days in any 12-month period. Natural resources, we just discussed what it means. Natural resources, we just discussed what it means, right? Used for a period of more than 120 days. What this implies is, even if the equipment stays for, let's say, more than 120 days, unless it is used for 120 days, it will not amount to a PE, right? This 120-day limit could be different in different treaties. It could be even 180 in some of the treaties. We'll just look at that. When you talk about 12-month period, different treaties may use different word over here. Some may say during the taxable year. Some may say during the financial year. Here the word used are 12-month period. So what you need to see is, for any continuous period of 12 months, right, from 0 to 12 months, even though it may not necessarily be the taxable year from 1st April to 31st March as it is in India, right, does for any 12-month period, the use is for a period of more than 120 days. If so, it will amount to a PE. Now, when we talk about the installation or structure, this installation or structure should actually be either owned or operated by the foreign company for whom you want to create a PE. If it is neither owned nor operated by them, then this period is not to be considered, right? In certain cases, you may also find that it is not only the period of use, but if a person is providing certain supervisory activities for exploitation of natural resources, even that is to be considered. Construction PE, this is basically in Article 52K. A building site or a construction, installation, or assembly project, or supervisory activity in connection therewith. Now, in the previous one, I told you that this kind of a clause may also be present in some treaties. It was not there, but it's there in this particular treaty. So, a building site, if there is a foreign real estate guy who's building a project in India, the building site may be a PE for him. A construction project, you're constructing a factory. Installation, so let's say telecom equipments are imported in India. If there's a foreign supplier who's installing that equipment, that installation site may be a PE for them. Assembly project. Assembly is kind of putting the things together. Or supervisory activity in connection therewith. Now, in these cases, if some part of the activity is done by the foreign company and some of it is done by the agent or a subcontractor, the period for both of them have to be included. Where such site, project, or activities, together with other such site, projects, or activities, if any, continue for a period of more than 120 days in 12-month period. Now, one thing which you should note here is that, the period is 120 days. So let's say a person comes to India on 1/4/2016, right? On 1st of August 2016, let's say the 120-day use period is covered, right? So would the PA come into effect from 1/8/2016 or will it come from 1/4/2016? In all such cases, once the threshold is crossed, the PE comes into existence from day one, right? You don't need to say that, okay, once 120 days are included, then the income for this period is to be excluded because the PE wasn't formulated during that period. The use of the word together with such other sites, projects, or activities suggest that if there are more than one site where the foreign company is working, the number of days for which the work has been done in all these has to be considered in aggregate. Now, one question which often comes up is that you have a specific clause for construction PE. What if a PE is not formed under this because you were working only for 118 days? Would you still be required to go to Article 5, Paragraph 1? Or this is not required? The better view here seems to be that since there's a specific provision of construction PE, if a PE is not formed here, then one should not go back to Paragraph 1. However, there are contrary rulings to this, and therefore one needs to still consider, for the safety reasons, that whether a PE exists under Article 5, Paragraph 1 or not. So what all is included? A building site, construction, installation, or assembly project. Are related activities covered? Yes, the supervisory activity in connection therewith are covered. What's the time frame? More than 120 days in 12